Have you ever laughed so hysterically at something so simple you were starting to get legitimately worried that you were losing your sanity or something? About what were you laughing so hard then? Me and two of my friends were working on a movie, but we messed up some files and accidentally replaced the black screen after a character's suicide with a panorama of cinnamon rolls. I was in INSAT class and we were going over practice questions. The instructor read out a group of spoon collectors, and I began laughing so hard and for so long that I had to leave the classroom. I'm over it now, but it was troubling. Misheard an episode of Octonauts about the coconut crab. The phrase astronaut crabs conjured simultaneous images of crabs in spacesuits and also giant crabs cracking open astronauts with their claws. And I absolutely lost it. I could hardly breathe. There were tears of mirth. My children were terrified, but also trying to keep up with the joke, which I could barely explain. We still talk about it, but it will never be quite as funny as when my brain caught me by surprise. I didn't question my sanity, but I got stuck in a laughing loop with my then 1-year-old son. He was laughing at my laugh, and I was laughing at his. It was the better part of an hour and we were both exhausted afterward. It was over 30 years ago and it still makes me some when I think about it. In high school, a guy at my table was asked if he ever had sex, and with the most straight face said no, but I've seen dogs do it. His frankness and deadpan attitude made me laugh so hard, and for so long I was worried that I was going to pass out. I don't remember the context, but my best friend and I, then in our preteens/early teens, were flopping around on her bedroom floor and screaming fish out of water. We insisted on showing her mom, who looked at us like we were on meth. I almost passed out. I could not breathe from laughing so hard. My mom once said boo to my dad, who kept hiccuping to make him stop. She said it in the most innocent and pure way that we couldn't stop laughing. The laughing went on for like an hour though. It was a windy day, and I was eating a bagged lunch with my coworkers. Suddenly a huge gust of wind blows the bag and all my food away, leaving me staring at an empty table with a fork in my hand. I didn't even try to catch it. I just started laughing so hard I had to lay on the ground. The ability to laugh at my own pain is like my only superpower. This is the end bloopers, when they are talking about their religion and Craig Robinson says, and Dana's Muslim and Danny McBride just says shalom. It's not even that funny, but I lose my speep every single time. I read a meme asking if Norwegian clowns say HJNK. My girlfriend speaks fluent Norwegian and told me how that would be pronounced. Kind of a he-on-k. I thought I was going to pass out from lack of air due to laughing. I'd catch a grip every now and then and a quiet eeyong would corpse me into laughing harder. My friend and I were watching Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs when we were about 12. There's a scene in that movie where a giant bowl of water spills on everybody sitting in bleachers, and there's a guy in the splash zone ready to get wet, except everybody except him gets splashed instead. And he throws his hat on the ground and yells, "Oh, come on." My friend and I laughed our asses off at this, and this eventually led to us replaying a ton of scenes in slow motion, zoomed in, etc. It was actually something in an AskReddit thread. The question was something along the lines of what is an unsolved mystery or paranormal activity that cannot be explained? Someone's reply was that one time when they were younger they farted and the TV turned off. I have no idea why, but something about how it was sandwiched between much more serious replies just made me lose it. I was laughing so much my wife came to ask what was so funny. Her reaction, basically calling me an idiot, made me laugh even more. Even as I type this comment I'm grinning like an idiot thinking about it. Undefined. Many years ago, I went through about a week-long phase where I simply could not read my credit card number over the phone without laughing hysterically. No reason. It just started one day. Then I think I got all up in my head and it just snowballed from there. Every time I tried to order food, confirm some travel reservation, whatever, I would start laughing, and it would take me forever to get through the number. The surprising thing was how infectious the laughter was. I thought the people on the other end of the phone would be annoyed, but probably 9 times out of 10 they'd start laughing too. It was like some virulent mindworm of contagious hysteria. And then just as suddenly as it started, it was over. Hasn't happened since, though I still brace myself every time, just in case. I had a dream recently that a friend of mine spent 2 full hours focusing intensely hard on writing something down. When he was finally finished, he showed it to me. In a 5-year-old's handwriting in crayon. The page simply read "Apple cider dognuts." I laughed so hard I woke myself up crying. Really high. Doing a puzzle with my husband and we were eating the sweetest frozen pizza we had ever eaten. Like, just the worst. It was supposed to be garlic cheese, and it tasted like absolute nothing in cardboard. So we started pulling everything out of the fridge to put on it and make it better. Finally, my husband decided he was going to cook a bunch of hot dogs and roll them up in the pizza. Somehow, the concept of hot dog pizza was so incredibly funny, we both started laughing and couldn't stop. I laughed so hard. For so long it became physically painful, and I couldn't breathe. But I couldn't stop laughing, so I was just barking out this weird honking cough. By the time we stopped laughing, I was pretty sure I had laughed myself sober. We marked the date on our calendar, so we never forgot Hot Dog Pizza Day. And a month after that night, Pizza Hut came out with hot dog crust pizza, and I swear they were spying on us. Undefined. Me and my friend nearly ended ourselves laughing at the Benedict Cumberbatch memes, Benadryl Cabbage Patch and so on. It was at the point where it physically hurts till all undefined. I was breastfeeding my newborn in the middle of the night and watching Dave Chappelle. The Rick James skit was on. I laughed so hard that my husband woke up and took the baby away because he was afraid I was going to drop him. He asked me what was wrong, and I snorted, "I'm Rick James, bitch." He was not amused.